Economic development. Basically, 20 years ago when I first got into economic development, there weren't all the courses that are available today, and it just kind of came down to four things. Where can somebody live? Where can they work? Where can they learn? And where can they play? So that was the basics of economic development. We've advanced a long way since those early days of economic development. Let's see if I can do this. Which is the clicker? Which one do I push? That arrow. Okay. So nowadays we're much more sophisticated in economic development because we are a worldwide kind of thing, and now we compete not only locally, but we have to compete against the entire United States. Back every year, CNBC scores all the states on their competitiveness on 80 different metrics or 88 different metrics in 10 broad categories. These were the final results of the top 10 states for economic development on those metrics. You see who's not in the top 10? It's Florida. So where do we actually rank as far as our competitiveness? Well, we're number 11. Just missed out. And you can see the 10 broad categories at the top. But look at numbers where we are on Florida for number 6. It's our workforce. Yay, Robin. You did great. But on some of the other categories, we need some work. You can see this all across this. The ones that bother me are where we are below score number 25. It's kind of where we need to get our act together. So let's look at how we did. There are 2,500 different points available. And you can see we actually gained a little bit from our ranking from 2021. So we have gained some ground in the past year, but we have some work to do to become competitive against all the other states. Interestingly, on our workforce, we are doing better because when you look at everybody talks about they can't find people to work. Just available yesterday from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, we're doing better. For every 100 jobs, we only have 59 available people. That just came out yesterday. But we're doing a lot better than North Dakota because they only have 35 people available for 100 jobs. That's pretty sad. So workforce is an ongoing problem throughout the United States. And I didn't have a slide on that because those were just available late yesterday afternoon. So when we look at it, who do I consider our biggest competitors in the South? We look at North Carolina, Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia. That's who I really consider our top competitors in the South when we're looking at putting out bids. So let's do another critical analysis of where we stand. When I look at also going to our tax structure and doing the analysis on what our taxes are and looking at things in green versus red, we actually do really, really well on the bottom chart. When we look at individual income tax and our sales tax rate, we really look very competitive because there are more things to consider when a business wants to relocate or come to Florida or expand their business. Those companies that are already here and are being courted to move somewhere else, we really start ranking up really well. So there are other considerations when a company is wanting to relocate or expand their businesses. So there are other things that one must consider when trying to relocate. So what are the fastest growing industries in the United States? This bubble chart kind of looks at the entire United States to look at what is going on in the entire U.S. And this comes as no surprise either. So you can kind of see where we rank there. So, Flagler County versus Florida versus U.S. Another kind of idea of where we stand. Again, no big surprise, especially when you look at what our subset of our top 5 industries in Flagler County are. Tourism, tourism, tourism. No big surprise there. In fact, so much so, just as during the pandemic, the United States Economic Development Administration finally recognized that tourism was a big generator of jobs as well as economics in the state of Florida, as well as in the country as a whole. It's the first time that US EDA has ever recognized that tourism is a valuable industry cluster to be recognized and to give money to. What are the number of jobs? As you can see, we have grown as well as our jobs in Flagler County, and that's due to people relocating and coming here. What does it look like? As you can see, during the pandemic, we had a large wage gap. The gap between available labor and employment has increased slightly, and this, you can see the gap has narrowed, but we have had a slight increase in our unemployment. And here is how we stand this past month in our unemployment comparisons. We ticked up a little bit to 3.3%. So, where do our people live and work? We work in Flagler and live elsewhere, about 10,000. Live and work in Flagler, about 12,000. And live in Flagler and work elsewhere, about 25,000. So that means we need jobs in the county because people are going elsewhere. So our latest population estimates are, guess what, we're old. We're really old. About 1/3 of our population, 65 and older. But that also gives them an opportunity. What kind of jobs do we need? We need health care. Because people, when they get old, and I can say that because I'm in that age group, we need a lot of medical care. So, to the point, we need to get those people that are going to college here and getting some of those skill sets. There are 52,000, about 53,000 people in the labor force, and about 25,000 have to leave the county for work. What are our top industry sectors? As we can see, retail trade, professional scientific, and really that kind of comes into what we're saying is our healthcare and education. Those are our top 3 industries. And you tell me I only have 2 minutes, so I'm gonna run through all this. Another thing that we look at, oops, let me go backwards. Here are the annual salaries. And this could also give a reason why people are leaving the county, because the salaries in other counties are higher than what they are in Flagler County, which is kind of sad. We're way low on our salary ranges. Another reason why people may live in Flagler County is how much it costs to be able to buy a home. So we're relatively low compared to other counties, but you can see this is how our demographics are showing, or our 86% of the Flagler tax base is derived from our residential sector. So we really need to diversify. So where are Florida's next 4 million people coming from, or coming to? About 30% are going to land in Flagler County. So that means they're building homes like crazy, which is unfortunate, because that means we don't have enough space that it's going to be for industrial/commercial, because they are flipping land like crazy. So that means, again, we aren't going to have room for jobs. So this is going to make a real problem unless we reserve land space for jobs. So what does it all mean? Growth is coming, and our top industry sectors in the nation and Flagler County are aligned, and it's healthcare, professional and business services, and leisure and hospitality. And the thing is going up for stop. Woo!